Hey guys, my name is Hannah and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my new vlog that I'm creating. I know it's kind of cheesy to dress yourself as your own vlog, but this is my first time, so I don't care. So I'm auditioning for musical theater in college, and boy is it a wild ride to get to the point where you can audition for these. So I'm just going to kind of explain the college audition process a little bit so that my later vlogs will make more sense. So this weekend I'm actually at an event called Moonifieds, which is basically like a unified college audition where there's 20 colleges that come to this one hotel here in Dallas, which is really convenient that it's here in Dallas, and anyone that uses a college audition coach can come to this event and audition for these colleges to take place of your pre-screens. So that probably doesn't make any sense right now. So basically what the process is a lot of schools, like the bigger schools, like the more acclaimed universities like Michigan and Florida State and Ithaca and those kinds of schools require what's called a pre-screen to kind of weed out the people they know won't get accepted to their program. So if you don't get past pre-screens, then they don't even see you in person. So they kind of have to narrow down who they see in a live audition. These bigger schools see so many people. Like I think my college audition coach said that University of Michigan has 2,000 people that apply every single year just for their musical theater program, which is insane. So you don't have to apply usually for these pre-screens, but sometimes you do. So that's purely based on just a video, and then they decide if they get to see you in person. So you've heard me say college audition coach a couple times. So I hired this guy named Dave Clemens. He's really awesome. I'm gonna try and get him in an interview sometime this weekend to kind of tell you what he does, but he's my college audition coach, and basically that just means I go to him with any and all questions that I have. What to wear to an audition, what songs to sing, like which of my monologues should I use, like does Penn State give out callbacks the day of, when do I find out, like all this stuff, yada yada yada. It's kind of great, honestly, because I don't know where I would be or how I would manage this process without using him. He's great, and he's also the reason that I was able to come to Moonifieds, which has been super fun so far. I'm filming this at the end of day 1 of Moonifieds, but at the end of this, this is gonna be my first episode, and then I'm gonna make a Moonifieds episode. So this is just kind of a short introductory video to the college audition process. So if you pass pre-screens, which you usually find out within a few weeks of submitting your pre-screen, they send you an email and they say, hey, congrats, you passed your pre-screen, schedule a live audition with us. Usually that'll be at a unified audition. There's this thing called Unified Audition Tour, and basically there's stops in New York, Chicago, LA, and I think Vegas. I might have to check on that one. But all these colleges show up to these unified auditions, and it's a week-long thing in each of these cities, and it's mayhem. There's thousands of kids trying to audition for musical theater at all these different schools in a week's period, and it's crazy. So I'm going to the Chicago Unifieds, and that's the first week in February, so I'm missing an entire week of school to go audition for these colleges, and it's gonna be pretty intense. But yeah, I'm really excited about this process. It's so competitive. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm auditioning for, I think, 22, 23, somewhere in that range. That many schools, plus all those application and audition fees just to maybe get into 2 or 3 schools, maybe. It's ridiculous because each of these schools are trying to build their own team and build their season for the next 4 years. So if they have someone that's a year ahead of you, that's exactly your type and exactly your voice part and your height and your look and all that stuff, they're not going to accept you because that wouldn't make sense to have 2 carbon copies of the same person. So they really, most of the time, it's not even based on talent if you get rejected from a school. It's based on your type and whether they already have that type or not. So I'm going to talk a little bit about type too, for anyone that doesn't know what that means. Type is basically the kind of character that you would play. Like, I am a very standard classic ingenue, which means I'm like the leading lady, like damsel in distress type person. They're typically like sopranos or like high belters, that kind of thing. Because they're just very innocent, very naive, the love interest, that kind of thing. There's also character actors. There's also like way more specific types of each one, like quirky ingenues, and then it's crazy. But each person has a specific type that they kind of fall into, and schools cast their team, cast like the people that are auditioning for them based on their type. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly, and it's one of the only professions left that can justify not picking someone based on race or based on looks or based on any other thing like that. So I'm going to show you my notebook. This is the kind of thing that you have to have if you don't want to fall behind. So basically I have a page, if I can get this sorted out, I have a page for every single school, and I have information on the school, admissions stats, I have what I need to audition, when the audition dates are, and then back here is information about Moonifieds, like breaking down my songs into different categories like classical up-tempo or contemporary ballad or that kind of thing. Because most schools will tell you to choose two contrasting cuts, which means that you pick just a part of a song. They don't want to hear the whole song. You pick parts of a song and you pick two songs that are nothing alike. Either they can be different in the voice range that they have, they can be different in the style, they can be different in just the sound, like the type of the show. Like you could do a super operatic, like Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis type sound versus something super contemporary, like Addams Family or Legally Blonde or something like that, something super pop rocky type thing. I think that's where I'm gonna leave off with this intro video because that's a lot of information, and I'm gonna be incorporating the rest of the information into my later videos, and maybe do a Q&A video if this becomes popular. So wish me luck at Moonifieds this weekend because I've already finished one day and it's kind of been crazy. So I will see you guys later.